everybody, it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and we are switching things up a little bit. Normally in our memory keeping kits, I include a set of instructions. There's a few printed instruction sheets with each kit that give you tips and ideas and inspiration on how to create a couple of layouts. And we've kind of revamped things a little bit, and in a way to save some paper. And actually, I like the format of video, of going through and showing you the layouts and talking about them and being able to get a little bit more in depth than I would on the instruction sheets. So I love the fact that we're saving a little bit of paper, as well as I have a format where I can dig in a little bit deeper. And so what you will get in with your memory keeping kit, whether it's the Modern Memory Keeping Kit or the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit, you will get a little card like this, and it will direct you to where you go for the YouTube video. It's on our YouTube channel, but you will get the little card in there that tells you where to go, so you can find the projects that go with the memory keeping kit that you have. And I dig in a little bit, like I said, and I spend a little bit more time talking about some techniques, some tips, maybe even some design stuff. And so I'm excited to do this. So this is what we're going to be doing from now on. So if you're used to getting the instruction sheets in your kit, don't despair. There's still lots of inspiration for you. It's just going to be in video format now. So I'm going to switch it over, and I'm going to start doing that, and I'm going to show you a couple of layouts right now. Hey everybody, it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and I am going to share with you my layouts using the June Koi Pond Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. So we are doing this instead of printed sheets, printed instruction sheets that we were normally putting in your kits. I am now creating a video for you. I feel like there is so much more that I want to share with you that I can't put down to paper. There's so many more tricks and ideas, and I feel like a video is just so much more information, and also it saves on us paper, because if you can choose to watch the video or not watch the video, some people who didn't choose to use the instruction sheets, then it just gets thrown away, and that's just such a waste, and we're trying to cut back on as much of that as we can. And as I said, I really do like the videos better, just because there's a lot of tips and things that I'd like to talk about, that to try and fit it on 2 sheets, I have to pare it way down and just do step by step. So this way I can talk a little bit more in depth. So the main focus, I feel like, of these 2 pages that I'm going to show you are the stamp set, because the stamp set is something new. We're going to do a little series on these every month, and it just creates something that streamlines, because if you think about a Traveler's Notebook is kind of a mini album. It's meant to be fast. The way we have it set up with the pattern paper on one side and the grid paper on the other, it's meant to be a quick, easy way to record your memories or to jot down your journaling, add in a few pictures. And I wanted to create a stamp set that helps that even more. So what we have is we have this great grid. Let me set it here. And then all of these little accompanying bits that you can layer in that grid to create a title, to hold journaling, to add the date, to be decorative. So there's a lot of things that you can do with that. If you please check out my stamping video for June. Every month I do a video that goes through our stamp sets and ways to use them and layer them, and I talk more in depth about that stamp set. So make sure that you check that out, because there's a lot of great information in there on how to use that stamp set, and kind of some ideas, some more in-depth ideas. And it also talks about, I'll just quick show you, it also talks about this extra stamp set. Now this stamp set is going to be in the store for separate purchase, but it works with the stamp set that comes in the kit, and it takes it even a step further where you can layer even more and be able to use this in your traveler's notebook and just totally streamline the whole process too. So make sure you check out my stamping video. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe to our videos. We love to produce them and we love to share them, and we want to get them out there to as many people as possible. So if you like and subscribe, that will happen. So let's talk about this layout a little bit. So what I did is I actually took a piece of, you can see here there's a piece of white cardstock here. So what I did, I stamped this grid first, and then I layered in all of the bits. So I have the currently, the title there, the little decorative leaves along the side, the month, and then the June over top of the month. I added my journaling, so I ran this piece through my printer and added the journaling, and then the little exploring checkbox, I added that as well. And then I glued that down, and then I added my photograph. I added one of the die cut tabs and one of the die cut lotus leaves, and then or lily pads, sorry, that's the word I was looking for. And then another die cut on top of it, and I added that over top. And I wanted to add a little bit more texture, so I added the staples there that to adhere the tab to. Remember, all of our die cuts are stickers. So this one, obviously, I left the backing on, but this one, you take the backing off. I can show you that real quick. It's something I like to mention all the time because we have new people and they don't know that, and you wouldn't really know that by looking at it. You think it's just a regular die cut, but it does have a backing and it is a sticker. So you can use that way. And then I loved the simplicity of it. I didn't really want to go a lot of layers and a lot of patterns. I liked the larger photograph, and I kept a heavy white border around it as well. So I loved the black and white with this. And so I didn't want to do a whole lot over here. I liked this black and white paper. And then what I did is I took the stamp, and I want to show you that a minute. I wanted to add just a little bit on this page though. So I liked the here and now, but if you look, the here and now is straight, but it's curved on there. So there's a fun little trick you can do. If you have a little bit of a longer phrase, you can actually, if you carefully, when you put it on the block, you can curve it. So you can curve that to fit something if you wanted to stamp on it and have that follow the curve of something. So if you have a longer saying, that's a neat thing. That's one of the wonderful things about acrylic stamps, is that you can leave it straight, obviously, but then you can also, when you put it down, just carefully start to curve it to however much of a curve you want, and then you can stamp it with that curve. Isn't that fun? So you can do that. So that's a fun way to do that. If you have a longer saying, the shorter sayings, it's a little hard to do. But so I added that on there, and then I wanted just a little bit of color. And so I cut out one of the rub-ons that had that little bit of orange and yellow, and then I rubbed that on there just as a little splash to bring your eye to the here and now. So it's a simple layout. It came together very quickly, which is what I liked. But I liked how graphic and bold it was as well. So super easy to put together. And if you follow this if you create this kind of as a formula for every page, you just switch out the currently and the check boxes. You can change it up a little bit, but you'd have a system for every page, and it would be super easy to follow that. So then the other page that I did, I used one of the Traveler's Notebook cards. So these cards are meant to be used on a page, and they're great jumping off points, which is why I wanted to use this one. So I loved it with kind of this splash watercolor. That kind of made me think of pool water splashing. Even though the colors are not blue, I felt it still worked because it takes this color and complements it, but it pulls a little bit of a yellow from the drink, but it kind of gives that whole feeling of splashing water, which is why I liked that with it. And so before I even put it on here, so it was easier for me to use that card and not paste it down. So I started out with just the card, and then I ran it through my printer, and I kind of figured where my journaling would be. And one of the things I did is I made a space in my journaling for the word moments. So this one, I didn't use the grid, but I used these elements, the other elements from the stamp set. And I added the moments in my journaling. I liked how it kind of jumps out at you. I like how it's a mix of fonts in there, adds some interest. So you can have layers and still have a simple looking layout. And that's what I was trying to do here. And then I added the June and the month here. Kind of layered that all in. And then I added, and see if I can find it for you. I might have it on the other one. Hold on. So I want to show you a trick with, here we go. So you also get these great glitter swirls, and two of them, the one says go with the flow, and this one says summertime. And I ran that up the side, the go with the flow. So a little trick I want to talk to you about, because they're a little delicate, and it can be hard to have a long, thin sticker like that and manage it and make it lay the way you want it to. So what I did is I actually cut mine in a couple of spots, and you can't even see it really. So I cut it in a couple of spots and laid it down in sections, and it made it much more manageable. So that's a little tip that you can do with these. The ones that are just swirls are a little easier, but the ones with the words in them can be a little delicate. So be careful when you're pulling it off. And then at the same time, what you could do, see for instance, like the summertime, I would probably cut it right here at the R. So you would peel off summer, lay it down, and then peel off the time with the ending swirl. Or you could even cut the swirl and add that as well. You really won't see when you do it, but for me anyway, it's just a little easier to manage to have it in sections because they are really nice and long. So you have those swirls in there. So I added that on there. I added my photograph, and then this whole thing was done. And that's why I love these cards. Like I said, they're great jumping off points. If you wanted to add the photo on this side and you had a lot of journaling, you could do the entire bit of journaling on the card. Or if you had a larger photo, you wanted to fill the space with that and add your journaling on this side, you could do that as well. Either way would work. You could even add this grid stamp in there and then layer it as I did on this one. You could do that in here as well and add your photo below it. And then to finish, so then I glued that in there, and then to finish it off, I just layered a couple of the die cuts. So there is, let's see, I'll just show you the other cards that were in there. So you have another card, just since we're talking about cards. So like this one, you could use, how pretty is that together? So this one, you already have your title. Now on here, all you do is add your photograph and a little bit of journaling, and you're done. Maybe a few little glitter dots on there, and that's it. This one, again, is a great jumping off point because you could do like I did here, and you could add the elements that way. So it has a starting point for you, which is also what I love about these. And then this one is nice because you can add a photo, you could add your journaling, you could add your title to this. So this one is more blank, so it kind of is a little bit more open. So that is a look at my 2 layouts, and there's so much more in here. I didn't even use any of the alphas. So I have so much left in here yet. We have these really cool alpha stickers. You have a whole set of those. You have those. There's washi tape in here, all of the beautiful pattern papers. There is so much more I have left to be able to decorate this booklet with. Sometimes I wish I could just do a full booklet for you guys every single month, but that would be impossible for me to do ahead of time. So, and I like to save it for the month. So these are obviously pictures from last June, and I'd like to be able to do this coming June with this booklet. So that would be a little hard for me to do. But anyway, so that is the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. The 2 layouts that I did using that kit for June with our Koi Pond collection.